Santander Sports, the only place to watch every game of UEFA Euro 2012.
A night of giants. Fluminense against Boca Juniors to get this Copa Libertadores quarter-final double bill underway, with Boca leading by 1-0 from the first leg in Buenos Aires last week. 6 times Boca have won this trophy, more than anyone else bar Independiente. The last time they won the crown, 2007, against the side who reached the decider in 2008 for the first time in their history, but fell short against Liga de Quito. Atmosphere's been pumping for quite a while at the Engenhão, and will be ramped up even more come kick-off time, which is imminent. Fluminense, one of 4 Brazilian sides left in the competition. Boca and Velez left remaining for Argentina. Thiago Neves played in that decider for Fluminense 4 seasons ago, but ended up on the losing side. It was one of the great stars of their campaign. Big evening for Rafa Moura, who stayed up front for Fluminense all of last week's tie, but found himself very much exposed up front in the end due to the sending off of the left-back Carlinhos, who was suspended for tonight's game. As a result, the attacking element of the formation that Fluminense had suddenly removed. With the departure of Carlinhos and his suspension for tonight's game, it means that Thiago Carleto, who we had a chance to see a few moments ago, comes into the side. Recent signing on loan from Sao Paulo. Boca themselves making one change. Man who scored the goal that has them in front, Pablo Mouche, doesn't start this evening. The meeting of the 2 number 10s, Juan Riquelme and Rafael Moura, whom will provide the greater inspiration this evening. It's a night of pure noise with Chilean officials in the middle. Enrique Osses is the referee. Francisco Mondria and Carlos Astroza are the assistants. And the 4th official is the aptly named Patricio Politz. Riquelme is on the brink of history, tied with Martin Palermo on a record 23 Copa Libertadores goals for Boca. Came close a couple of times last week to breaking that record, which he equalled a couple of weeks ago. Saw Unión Española 5-3 in a very high-scoring 2-legged last 16 tie. So key men out for both. That includes Deco, who due to injury was always going to miss the 2 legs of this tie, but should be back after that. And if there was a signal coming into the ear of referee Enrique Osses, almost impossible for him to hear. The Olympic Stadium for 2016. One of the ties of this season's Libertadores, but a venue which will hold no fears for Boca, having already won here this season in the group stages. Sent down the wing by Clemente Rodriguez, And look at the men that Boca have up already. 3 in position. And it just rolled past Santiago Silva, who finds himself back in the first team. Diego Cavalleri's goal could be very much under pressure in the opening few minutes here. Boca 1-0 up from the home leg last week. And if they were to score the opening goal here, then you can deduce for yourself that Fluminense would need to score 3. It was a good break by Facundo Roncaglia, who had quite a few of those last week. Back at base at the Bombonera. Fluminense defence certainly looked very, very flat-footed. Thiago Neves has the responsibility of this free kick. On the side who've just come through to win the state championship, the Campeonato Carioca, finished 3rd in the title race last season. Pushed on by Thiago Neves, but very easily knocked up in that position by Clemente Rodriguez. Bruno, right back, pushed up strongly. Blocked by Valtteri Vitti, the once-capped Argentine international. Simple cut-out again for Rodriguez. Vitti. Now they can take on the story with Riquelme and Silva spreading up front. Cvitanic with the honour of starting up front alongside Santiago Silva this week. He was alongside Pablo Mouche last week. And with Mouche having netted, he ought to have really thought it would have been he alongside Silva this evening. Cesar Falcioni, the Boca boss, not in agreement. Touch on by Edinho. It will be interesting to see over the 90 minutes how much of a loss Carlinhos will be, because he certainly left a gaping hole at left back last week. Silva in support. Riquelme, who's floated towards the left quite a bit so far in this game, didn't find any progress down the middle. 2 meetings in the group stages, both laid in away wins. Boca finally holding their own at home last week. Just by a goal to nil. Fluminense tried to draw an equaliser immediately on their own turn. Very good work by Rafael Sobis. Found himself in the near side. It was a tremendous flick by Bruno to set it up. Has the makings of a very open game already. It was Schiavi's block. Sobis went across instead of to shoot, but Rolando Schiavi there made a vital stop. Frenetic start to this game, but the clumsily delivered corner means that we can deliver the teams. Fluminense nominally 4-4-2 of Cavalieri in goal, a back four of Bruno, Gum, Anderson and Carleto. Midfield, Thiago Neves, Edinho, Jan, Wagner, and up front, Rafael Mora and Rafael Sobis. Boca 4-3-1-2, the formation that we've been given pre-match. Orion in goal, a back four of Roncaglia, Schiavi, Insaurralde, Clemente, 3 defensive midfielders in Erbis, Rivero and Erviti. Riquelme is the attacking midfielder between Vitanic and Silva. Could be a lively old game for Enrique Osas to try and keep a lid on tonight. It was a very high foul count last week, also 41 in total over the 90 minutes. And the leading Chilean official might just find that he beats that record tonight. It was a very late dig there. And the kick out. Rafael Sobis has been told he's done that for the last time. Otherwise, there may be a pit stop. Picked up on Riquelme. Did well not to react. That was the key one from Chilean man in black. Riquelme. Some movement in front. Opportunity fell invitingly. Ribeiro floating around the middle. Long strike of major disappointment. It's such an open tie so far. Boca finally only managed to work openings up on the Brazilian side after the sending off of Carlinhos last week. Still that too keen. Cut out by Anderson. Got three waiting for Thiago Neves, trying to get the little flick, but it was very well cut out by Clemente Rodriguez. Chance for Vitti to put a bit of control and calmness on the issue. Isabel and Lock. Rodriguez. Hit beyond Vitti. Move of promise which very quickly broke down. Here goes the left back, Thiago Carleto. Again, three waiting in the middle. Rafa Moura has his arm up, but it was heading more towards Thiago Neves. Spread back wide towards Bruno again. Again, just those two to aim for. It wasn't a wide target. It's an awful lot of depth. Complaints that there wasn't an extra man behind. Complaint perhaps towards Wagner. Abel Braga coached Internacional to Libertadores and Club World Cup glory in 2006. It's been 4 years in the Middle East with Al Jazeera before coming back to Fluminense last year. Played through the 70s. Fluminense, and both within a year of each other. Come in from Caglia. So many inviting moments for Juan Riquelme. A lot of potential building menace in this tie. They both won at the weekend, good victories. Fluminense and Corinthians, Leandro Eusebio with the winning goal, and he's popped up quite a few times now the last few weeks. Boca 2-0 winners. Racing. Late goals there too. Big deflection. Came off Thiago Neves, the attempted ball away by Clemente Rodriguez, a massively wicked deflection. But the challenge just before that, had it been mistimed by Inceralde, would have been an almost certain penalty. Good fortune for Boca twice. Once that no contact was made, second time round that no lack of height came from the ricochet. Both defences jittery and nervy. And both attacks, if they settle, have chance to make hay. No Boca players named in the Argentine squad called this evening to face Ecuador in the World Cup qualifiers next week. Friendly against Brazil coming up also. But there is Matias Rodriguez of Unión de Chile who play tomorrow at home to Libertad, and that will be a fascinating one. Needless to say, probably explosive. They are incredible on their own turf. Not always so on the road. Edinho. Boca happily top of the pile in the Primera in Argentina. It's the Clausura season. 1 point ahead of Tigre, Arsenal and Newell's Old Boys. It was a fall by Thiago Neves and not called as a foul by Enrique Osis. It's been almost 25 years since Argentina crossed to the Apertura and Clausura season, but they are changing it slightly, just to have won major champion at the end of the year, the halfway champion, which is an unofficial title they have in Germany. Whoever's leading halfway in the season will play whoever's leading at the end of the season in the grand final. Alcione with more directions. Wagner pushing it along. Doubtless Abel Braga, then the Fluminense coach, somewhat static on the touchline, is content with how his side are progressing. There's Thiago Neves with the nod down. And suddenly room opening up again for Bruno. Delivery was strong, but it takes something better than that to beat Agustin Oriol. Trajectory was just perfect for him. Rafael Moura trying to pick his head out of the crowd. Playing by Goum. Bruno. Thiago Neves looking to inspire, but again can't find Rafa Moura up front. Massive injury list for Fluminense. That Jorginho and Fred, Carvalho, Deco. It's very well claimed by Bruno all the same. and Danny would go inside the area and yet again told to get up. And finally a reaction from the Fluminense coach. And if there was any contact, and it was with the ball, and it was outside. They may be depleted, Fluminense, but they're putting up a big fight. And they have a free kick in a good position, won by Wagner. Well, if they go the indirect route, Rafael Moura will be the obvious target. But this being the Libertadores, never rule out a direct strike. Thiago Carleto will take. He won't, surely. Oh, yes, he will. Oh, yes, he will! Elano-esque. Fluminense elation. His very first goal for the club. A pile driver, massively deflected. It's an absolute fluke. Do you think he cares? Orion completely deceived by the flight of the ball. Carleto will get the congratulation and will get the goal. And now it's properly game on. 1-0 on the night, 1-1 on aggregate. So long to go. And the early home goal that this tie needed, it has got. Boca have to respond now. Doing so in too positive manner, straight out. Santiago Silva not there in time. Just brought back from his time in Europe with Fiorentina. Came off the side of the wall, it was actually heading towards Silva. And Carleto, it was a real hit and hope effort. If you don't buy a ticket, now you know the rest. And Carleto went for it. And he scored a really dramatic opener from a lengthy free kick. And Falcione's bulldog expression will just get sour because of that. A match which had promise and potential now has an early goal. Santiago Silva found himself surrounded. And it was Carleto who was alongside with a flick up in the air and the easy claim by Diego Cavalieri. If it stays this way, we go straight to penalties. Away goals do count, extra time doesn't before the final. There was spot kicks that denied Fluminense back in 2008 to the hands of Liga de Quito after their thrilling 5-5 aggregate draw. highest scoring final ever, and then went and did the same thing 18 months later in the Copa Sudamericana. Liga de Quito won that final too. That was the highest scoring Sudamericana final as well. Throw by Roncaglia. 0-1, not disastrous for Boca at the moment, but if it stays this way for a while, when do they start thinking about all the chances they had last week, which they missed? Thiago Neves, ever creative. Already Rafa Moura's got his hand up in the middle. And a good through ball, turn it up for Bruno, and maybe if it was the other way around, it would have come off. But Orion got down well to claim. And in truth, I'm not sure we could make him that culpable with the goal. Thiago Neves. He's a logical goalkeeper, and he followed the logical path of the ball from the Carleto free kick. And it was the incredible spin after the deflection. It was originally going well wide, and then suddenly spin took full control. Thiago Neves again. Delivery was good. Finish was inviting and had some promise. Rafael Savis couldn't find the proper finish. Netted in the 1-0 away win at Zamora during the group stage. One of the results that helped Fluminense win the group in which they were contained with Boca. For both these sides, their only respective defeats came at home to tonight's opposition. Building in wonderfully, superbly done by Edinho. Thiago Neves is free again, and it's a free kick in Carleto territory. Wonder if this one will be better defended. Roncaglia totally missed the ball and then went high. Relatively same position. There is an instruction from goalkeeper or coach. Just defended better this time. Same position, same taker, different result. Must have been a skull of steel. Bravery from Clemente Rodriguez. Thiago Neves to win again. Well, maybe he had a case for another free kick there, but Enrique Elsa is hovering over it, thought not. Already scored one free kick from that range. Maybe it's playing on the Chilean referee's mind now that maybe attempts to win further in that region. Clemente Rodriguez. the 15 times capped Argentine international and who featured in the World Cup squad of Diego Maradona. Though it's not a pass likely to feature in any highlights reels. Facundo Roncaglia. Season of relatively few surprises. And Enrique saw something in that. Well, if Schiavi wasn't going to get him, Inceralde definitely was. Has to organise the bodies in blue yet again. Carlitos is so ironic. Managed to score earlier with one that wasn't very well struck. How about this one? It's not his, it's Thiago Neves, and it's through the wall. Back in by Bruno. Pinballs round, claims of handball, again not heeded. And pointing towards the near side, and his assistant Francisco Mondria, and neither called it. But it's a good expansive game. And it's a marvellous, expansive run. This time without reward by Jean. And Boca will get the free kick. It'll earn R from the home support. The elbow, in truth, was away. And if it rebounded off anything, it was the shoulder. Onto the shoulder from the chest. Nothing deliberate about that. Nothing deliberate about that. Abel Braga has his men where, for now, he wants them. In the lead on the night, level on aggregate. Fluminense have appealed for a lot, but not got as much. Referees who take charge of second legs are always encouraged to watch the first. Well, it would take closing 1.5 eyes and turning your head and switching the lights off to consider that a penalty. But the door may be open here for Thiago Neves, and it was a last gasp flick away that proved so heroic. But it may not be the end of it. Meanwhile, Riquelme denied. Bruno with a chance to break. Well, Thiago Neves will just hobble away because he's not getting any assistance from anyone, especially not his own colleagues. Not when they feel they could still get Boca by the throat. Goal kick. Rafael Sovis with the latest unsuccessful appeal. Schiavi was up with him. And that, a tremendous vital saving block by Facundo Roncaglia. And Thiago Neves, maybe more. Well, it was when he came down, there was a little bit of leg from Roncaglia and there was nothing solid for Thiago Neves to land on. I thought at first maybe it might have been the notion that sometimes comes when you swing for a football, and if you don't connect with something, then things start rattling around the ankle area, but not that. He's hobbled off for now. He has received some attention. He doesn't look comfortable. His team are happily playing without him for now. Back by Rafael Sobis. Across by Carleto. To Carleto. And another free kick. And you have to say the vast majority are going against Fluminense. Now, how long can that man hobble if it's as bad as it looks? Boca, who absolutely controlled it last week, and who you'd argue pretty much had the upper hand when it was 11 against 11. For most of the game it wasn't. They've been very much crowded out of it so far this evening. Win by Seralde. Rodriguez had the original policing job and will have to do it again. Still an awkward stride from Thiago Neves, which is quite obvious. 12 minutes to half-time. Quarter of an hour to put his feet up. Pretty much the only thing that he can rely on now. He is struggling. He's just moved his way towards the far side of the pitch. You can only imagine he's trying to get himself out of the way for now. It's put up towards Santiago Silva. There's Thiago Neves successfully staying out of the way. Didn't hold on to it long though. Carleto. Only Mora in the middle. That's all they needed. Got down on it well. Orion is claiming a handball. And it just about was, but he drove in like a bull. Osse's won't be bossed around. That's Falcione's job. And he's taken too long. And Agustin Orion even though his side are behind on the night, has been booked for time wasting. The evening's first yellow card. It's all about the aggregate result, and right now Boca are clinging on to penalties, but the way they've played for the 35 minutes so far, they are clinging on. It's quite a list of departed men from midfield also that Boca have had to contend with in recent fixtures. Taglia and Somoso and Ledesma, Colazzo. Do have a goal scorer from the first leg on the bench in Nuce. Also have suddenly a crooked leg on Agustin Orion, who's defiant towards his critical defence. Thiago Neves. There was an inviting hang in the air. Rafa Mora will go in, but Orion will be the winner that time. He's been reliable up to now. 8 games played, only 6 goals conceded. Boca have netted 15 times in their 9 Copa Libertadores games to date. If they win the few remaining handful of fixtures in the Argentine League season, they will be champions for the 31st time. Corinthians against Vasco later. That kicks off at 1 AM GMT, 2 AM if you're in the UK and Ireland. Not down by Edinho, and it was crucial, it was well timed. Quite poor way through. Vitanic has also had an evening of quietness so far. Hasn't always been that way for Santiago Silva. It's his foul on Bruno. Tried to be subtle. I don't think there's very much subtle about him. Well, just straight too far beyond Bruno. Recent signing from Figueirense. This his big break. Played for clubs before, not entirely distinguished at the Brazilian top table. Forward by Insaurralde, and it will be sent back again as quickly as it came in. The foul on Goum. Well, his first season here was the season they reached the Sudamericana final when Liga de Quito broke their hearts. Liga de Quito didn't make it to this season's Libertadores, but we'll see them in the Sudamericana. Of Sao Paulo and Gremio too, who didn't make it to this year's Libertadores. Things for John. Again, Thiago Neves has found himself upended and on the day. It's been the pattern of his game, but he has won some crucial dead balls for his side this evening. Maybe something else to come here. He's had a pop straight at Agustin Orion, but a good effort on target. And it's the first deliberate shot they've had on target that stayed on target. And they're still 1-0 up in the night. Worthy try, Orion stood his ground well to save. key men for Boca so far are just not being found. Interchange isn't there. And the cohesion will have to be found some way by Falcione at half-time. Maybe that's just a bit too fussy. Runners in this scheduled to face the winners of United de Chile and Libertad in the semi-finals, though that draw can change depending who else is in the last four. It's got to be practically the first offside of the game. Quite a clear one. Ball by Francisco Mondria, the man who didn't flag for the perceived handball earlier, mainly because it wasn't. Thiago Neves again has Rafa Moura for support down the middle. Played it wide. No joy that time for John. Playing by Diego Rivero, who's been largely out of the game. Riquelme's tried to make things tick up front, and after it looked as if he'd given the ball away, he's managed to win what could be a pretty important free kick with Svitanic. Adinho's foul. Certainly they need influence from anybody, and maybe it will come from the number 10. Riquelme's had few options in the tie today. Now just before half-time, he's finally given one. It means the centre-backs can come up in Saralde and Schiavi. Vitanic there. Loads of jostling there too. Well, Silva finding himself getting stuck in. And the delivery was strong by Riquelme, but the header very inaccurate. When Caglia wading in, just managed to wade in ahead of Bruno. Pressure on Boca, as it was on Fluminense going into this tie. Bruno's back up off the floor and should be all right. It's good young talent on the bench. With both sides suffering their slings and arrows in terms of the injury list heading into these two games. Well, it's important for them that they do have young talent. And not so young. Leandro Eusebio has netted a couple of crucial goals in the past month on the end of the bench, which he is finding himself keeping warm alongside Wellington now. Good bring on, Bruno. Very well tackled by Voldemir. The anticipation absolutely right. Boca knew they'd have to defend in this game. And now they know a little bit of attacking in the second half would do the world of good. Lengthy free kick from Thiago Carleto. Major deflection, incredible spin. Just managed to find a way past Agustin Orion inside the post. And it means that Fluminense have the home goal they desired without conceding an important away one. Half-time in this Copa Libertadores quarter-final second leg. On the night, Fluminense 1, Boca Juniors 0. It's 1-1 on aggregate, and if there's no further goals, it's penalties.
Santander Sports, the only place to watch every game of UEFA Euro 2012.